Radio. Well, it's certainly not what your grandparents listened to. However, it doesn't mean this medium is dead. In fact, it's quite the opposite. In this video, I want to talk about the new frontier of radio and what it means to those of you looking for a career in this industry. So think about this. In two of the United States' most destructive hurricanes, thousands of residents were left without communication. The only way to hear from the outside world was what? That's right, a transistor radio and a stockpile of batteries. Radio literally saved lives. Radio is the place to go to hear new music, artist interviews, and local traffic, news, and weather updates. In fact, radio still boasts a 96% capture rate. That's higher than any medium, including the internet. In the spring of 2020, we all remember the start of the great pandemic. For many of us, radio was our escape. Music and our favorite DJ let us feel some type of normalcy, although our lives were anything but. In fact, our college radio station, mavradio.fm, pioneered new ways to reach our audience. Our Earth Day live broadcast was done from our homes.
But we are still here doing a show, and we have some great stories.
We couldn't have known then, but we were certainly on to an innovative way to connect with our audience. Radio is still a lucrative business model. Its cash flow remains steady at around $16 billion annually, while online ads are expected to skyrocket to more than $2.3 billion a year. The coolest thing about this is you don't necessarily need to own a radio station anymore. There are ways you can monetize your own show, but we'll get to that later in our course. By now, you've all probably heard of the term podcasting. Again, mavradio.fm has been on the cutting edge of this technology as well. Before it was a household word, our students were already voicing and creating production for our Mav Radio podcast. You can see the history here. It started with Serial in 2014. Today, Joe Rogan's The Joe Rogan Experience earns him more than $100 million a year. $100 million a year. Not too shabby for the guy who once hosted Fear Factor. Another reason radio is still so powerful, it's free. You can't really say that about anything else. Listeners can download iHeartMedia or the TuneIn app, both of which Mav Radio is played. Cars and gym equipment are also equipped with USB ports. You can literally take any radio station in the world with you at all times. That's pretty cool. In many markets, overall listenership to terrestrial radio is down, but radio stations are making that switch to streaming, or they're programming to niche marketing like classic country or an all-sports radio station to keep up with the demand. Finally, and I want to leave you with this. Now, stations can differ on how they time day parts, but most stations run a rotation called day parts. A typical broadcast day looks something like this. The morning drive and the most coveted spots for on-air talent is usually from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Midday, when there's more music and less talk or contests, airs from 10 a.m. to 2. And then the afternoon drive is 2 to 7. Nights are typically 7 to midnight, and then overnights, usually they're voice tracked now, start from midnight and go till 6 a.m. I like to share that information right away so next time you hear your favorite DJ or listen to a radio station, you'll get an idea of the hours they work on air. All DJs have other obligations to the radio station, usually in the form of podcasting, production, remotes, or digital media. So when someone says, radio is a dead medium, you can respond by saying, not so fast. Radio is still thriving as we navigate this new frontier of communication.